Hey there, so today I want to do a book review of the book Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profit by Greg Crabtree. Now this book is super influential for me and my business. It's a huge book. It's incredibly important. It's kind of an accounting book, but it really breaks down the numbers in the business and how to calculate your profit, which itself is something that business owners have a hard time doing. And so for you, this book could be incredibly important and an absolute game changer. And the reason why you want to read this book is so that your business, your restaurant, doesn't turn into this. Make sure it doesn't turn into that. Okay, so Greg Crabtree talks about the numbers in the business, and for an owner of a business, it's easy to get very confused about how profitable the business is. They look at the gross numbers of the business and they say, oh, we're doing $1 million business and that's great. Thing is, that doesn't matter at all. If you're spending $1.2 million to bring in $1 million, then you're going to be out of business very soon. It matters how much is left at the end of the day. Greg Crabtree in this book, Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profit, he talks about 4 main components of what you need to do to know how profitable your business actually is. Number 1 is that you need to have your taxes paid off. Okay, taxes are supposed to be paid quarterly. All of us wait and we think that we're going to float the numbers and we're going to be able to make more money with the money that we hold out for 9 months or a year until we pay taxes. It's really a false economy. It doesn't actually work very well, and you can't actually calculate profit until you have your taxes paid. So keep your taxes current. The second thing he talks about is paying an owner's wage. And so you're probably maybe running with an S corporation so that you can shield some of the taxes. And what's very common for business owners to do is to pay themselves the lowest wage possible so they can save even more taxes. However, that skews the number with your profit. You can't actually tell how profitable you are unless you pay yourself a real wage, meaning the wage that you would pay someone else to fully replace you. Now maybe that's $60,000 a year, maybe it's $100,000, maybe it's $160,000 a year. What would it cost to have someone completely come in and do your job 100%? Whatever you would actually pay them, you need to pay yourself that now so that you can actually calculate profit. The next piece is that you need to have 6 months of operating expenses in the bank. So a healthy business has 6 months of operating expenses in the bank. It's important to have those operating expenses set aside because there can be lean times, there can be a downtime in the economy, and you never know what's going to happen there. So if you have 6 months of expenses, operating expenses set aside, then you are in a very safe place and you can maneuver, and it's going to give you just a great feeling about your business. You're going to feel much more comfortable in what you do. And the last piece of it is to be out of debt. So as a restaurant owner, as someone who's started a restaurant and has put in their passion into their restaurant, you may have taken on a lot of debt. I mean, it's often $250,000 to $300,000 is the average that it costs to build out a new restaurant. So you may be making huge payments every month on debt. Well, that's fine, but you can't actually calculate your profit until that debt is paid off. So once your taxes are paid, you're paying yourself a realistic wage of what you could replace yourself with. You have 6 months of operating expenses set aside in the bank, and you've got all of your taxes paid off. Then what is left is profit. Now the profit range ideally is between 5 and 15%. If you're bringing in less than 5%, you're really kind of in trouble. And if you're bringing in more than 15% profit every year, then take all that you can get, okay? And especially do it now because it's very likely that someone's going to come in and try to knock you off, right? If you're making 20% profit in the business a year and all of those numbers are also in place and correct, then you have struck a gold mine. Chances are with your restaurant, you're probably in the sort of 2 to 6% profit. Ideally, you'd have all of those other things taken care of and you would be in a higher profit range, 10 to 12%. So those are the lessons that come from Greg Crabtree in this book, Straight Talk, Simple Numbers, Big Profit. And I absolutely recommend that you get it. It is available on Amazon, of course. If you don't have the time, you can get it on audio. It'll have a PDF that you can actually upload to your phone and you can see the charts and things that are in there. Go get that book right away. It's going to help you have a more successful restaurant.